Hello, welcome back everyone. Today I have a question, so it's a Q&A video today, and the question from one of my viewers was in response to yesterday's video. I'm not sure if people have seen that one or not, but it's about how narcissists embarrass us. So this person saw this video and had a question for me. Hi Marina, I'm hoping you can help me. I'm a 45-year-old guy who has been in a toxic narcissist relationship for 5 years. Yesterday's video on how they embarrass us hit a nerve. How do I get out? Good question. So this one is obviously going to be for the men, who are involved with female narcissist sociopaths. First of all, I do believe it is harder for men sometimes because they have found it difficult to speak up in regards to the abuse that they may be experiencing in this arena. As women, we have tended to talk more about it. Men will also blame themselves, and although women do as well, we will usually share our experiences with someone. As women, we tend to talk more. We'll tend to talk more about what's occurred for us, what's happened. Unfortunately, sometimes men will keep it more to themselves. So in regards to how do I get out of this, one of the first things you need to do is you need to start to share your story. This, of course, is for women and men, but today in particular, we're talking about men. You need to start to talk about what is happening for you, and this is to trusted people. Although many men try to cover up what is happening in their relationship with the other person, people can see what's going on. People know. So that's probably something else to also keep in mind. The other thing that also occurs for men in this situation is that you actually feel that you're trapped, that you don't have choices, but you do. You do. Also, you need to go back to a time when you did have confidence, when you did believe in yourself. Try to go back to that time and say, well, what was different then? And what you may find is that you possibly had not been put down to the degree that you have been now. You haven't, your life force hasn't been sucked from you. Female narcissists, sadly, can really, it's a web, it goes a lot further than just their love interest. They can, they start to play a lot of games with family, with friends, with co-workers, with the community. Another thing to be mindful of is, have you started, are you isolated? Do you feel so bad about yourself? Are you too fearful to step outside of your comfort zone or start living the life that you want to live because of the, retribution or making her unhappy? Start to write down all the ways that are stopping you from living freely, because that's what we've come here for, right? For our freedom. Now, at times during our lifetime, our freedom can be taken away, and it can take us a long time to realize when this has occurred. Now, we have a lot of victim blaming that goes on in our society. And this is another thing that you may also be feeling. Possibly, she may be saying or doing things that are making you feel stupid, or that are making it feel like it's your fault. Start to write down what's actually occurring for you. Start to write down and start to actually say, well, is this true? And can this person really have this type of control over me? And is this control coming because I'm allowing it, because somehow it's easier for me to stay down than for me to confront this person? Now, it may be easier to stay down, but it's not going to be helpful to you, because no one can literally, at the end of the day, no one can come and save you. It's yourself who needs to break free from this. And the first thing we need to do, that you'll need to do in this situation, with that question you asked me, how do I get out? You have to make a decision to get out. There's not, you can't keep seeing things from, with cognitive dissonance. Oh no, she really is okay. Oh no, she's not. Oh, she's a bully. Oh no, she's really kind. I'll do this to make her happy. Nothing I can do will make her happy. So that's that polarized thinking. Now, okay, we all experience that, in particular when we are in abusive situations. So possibly instead of trying to see her as good or bad, start to say, what is good for me? How does this make me feel? And cognitive dissonance will never make you feel good anyway. Never. So maybe it might be that you might actually decide, well, it's just time to go. And if you are going to work things out with her, because, who knows, things do happen sometimes. If a person really wants to change, they can change. Then do it from a distance. Sometimes we do need distance. In particular, when so much toxicity, bad behavioural patterns, all of this stuff has started to occur. You may need to distance yourself. Often in these narcissistic relationships, the victim, target, does wake up and knows that the person they are with is sociopathic or narcissistic, whatever it is. But once again, cognitive dissonance steps in. Oh no, they really are not that bad. Maybe if I just tried a little harder. Oh, well, I'll just keep staying and doing this. I don't feel happy, but, well, you have to start to, really break that and just say, no, they are, this is toxic. If you don't want to label the person, just say whatever's going on here is not healthy. And if you have tried again and again and again, and if you find yourself becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and you find that the quality of your relationships, and you find that your goals do not set you on fire, and you find that all you're doing is thinking about, your partner and how you're going to keep her happy, how you're not going to, how you have to stay quiet at certain times, then you have a decision to make. So what can you do? So as I mentioned before, start to tell yourself the truth at least first, and then start to tell other people. And start to write things down about what's actually occurring. And remember, you have choices. Of course, sometimes situations can be quite dangerous, so we do need to engage with professionals, or you may need to go and see a therapist who can actually help you talk things through, work things out. When we are so sort of enmeshed, and when we're so beaten down and we're so far down that rabbit hole, we don't see things clearly. With an experienced therapist, someone who understands cluster B personality disorder and understands what's going on neurologically for you and biologically, then they can start to help you so you have those light bulb moments. But there's always choices. The thing that we do need to realize, though, is that we can't reclaim our time. So time's going to go by anyway. So sometimes it's better to just cut and then use time for healing, and so you can start to take steps forward. It's never easy to break up with anyone, but often it's in our mind about how difficult it's going to be, when in reality it's way more difficult and way more dangerous to stay. That's all for now, and I do hope that that's helped my viewer who's asked the question. Take care and bye for now.